Hi, my name is Lafaya Mitchell of the Lafaya Way. If you'd like to know more about the philosophy of the Lafaya Way, then I highly recommend that you subscribe and you look into the other videos that I've made before, because that'll give you a great description. Today, we're going to focus on how your words affect the responses you get from others. Oftentimes, we think that we're going to get the best results, or we're going to get some change from a person by showing them how upset we are about what it is they've done wrong. Or sometimes in other relationships, people will think that, well, they only listen to me if I yell at them, or they only respond if I get upset. And if you really think about that, most of the time you find yourself upset all the time. So clearly they aren't responding in a way that's like long lasting. There's no long lasting effects there. You still have to keep doing the same thing that you hate to do and that they hate you doing over and over again. And sometimes you even get the child who eventually just becomes immune to your yelling, and they don't care that you're yelling at them anymore, so they don't respond. And so today I wanted to talk to you more about how to get more of what you need out of the person that you're interacting with. So I'll start with discussing guilting versus problem-solving communication. When you guilt a person, the messages that you give to them are that they're a disappointment, they're failing at something, they're lazy, all of these terrible things, all these bad things that lower their self-esteem. When you lower a person's self-esteem, what ends up happening is they're unable to give you what it is that you need because they don't believe in themselves. If nobody else believes in them, they're not going to believe in themselves either. So if you believe them to be lazy, they're going to believe themselves to be lazy. And sometimes they'll use that excuse. They'll say it to other people. I don't know, I'm just too lazy. Or my parents always say I'm lazy. Or they'll use it themselves. They'll say, I'm lazy. If you don't want them to have that self-concept, then you want to learn how not to give them the guilting messages that cause them to actually live in the way that you're telling them they are. On the contrary, when you use a problem-solving approach, the messages you give are, you are capable, you just need a little assistance. You also give the message that you're human and it's okay not to be perfect. The final message that you give, that's the most important that I'll review today, is that you want them to succeed. And so now you might ask yourself, well, how do I move into a problem-solving approach versus a guilting approach? Here's a few examples I want to give to you of what guilting looks like versus what problem-solving looks like. So sometimes you might find yourself asking questions like, what's wrong with you? That is a guilting approach. Instead of saying, what's wrong with you? How about you try, how do we get you to move in the direction that we need for you to move into? Or, what can I do to help you to get ... done? Now, another common comment might be, why can't you just, why can't you just clean your room? Or why don't you just do the dishes like I asked you to? Or, things like that. If you find yourself saying things like that, that's very unhelpful. Think about the question, okay? Because if they answered that question in what you would deem an honest way, you wouldn't like the answer. Why can't you just clean your room? If a child says to you, because I don't want to, you would not be happy with that answer. So make sure you're asking questions that you really want the answer to. Like, what can we do to get you moving? I know this is tough for you, or I know you really hate to wash the dishes. Sometimes for kids, it might be more than just they don't want to. It might be that they might have sensory issues around that. So just understand that you want to try to encourage them. It's more, I need you to cooperate with me. This is what we need from you. The expectation is this. Okay, how do we get you there? But these are the concepts that you have to focus in on. Because if you focus in on how much they suck, how irritating they are, how much they frustrate you, then what you're going to get is more frustration. What I'm talking about today, using problem solving versus guilting behavior, also speaks largely to one of my steps in the Lafaya Way, which is to understand your truest intentions. Because when you don't really understand your truest intentions, you tend to work against yourself. Your intention is, if you really think about it, is to get the person that you're speaking to cooperate. And if you're saying mean, nasty, self-esteem crushing things to them, you're not likely to get the cooperation you're looking for. And even if you get it in that moment, it's going to be with a lot of, attitude, which is going to upset you, or it's going to be not at all, because they're not going to care about what you're saying. It's going to cause an argument. that's not what you're looking to get. Some things you can kind of make light and talk about and kind of joke about with them and say, I know you really hate this, but for now I'm going to make sure that you learn all these things just in case you don't get super rich and have other people to do it for you. So keep in mind what your truest intentions are before interacting with the other person. And remember, when you're problem solving focused, then likely you're getting more of your needs met, thus fulfilling whatever intention it is you had in the first place. So that's my talk for you today. To recap, I reviewed the way you word things can affect the responses you get from others. And I shared with you the benefits of coming from a problem-solving approach versus a guilting approach. Now, this is me bringing my perspective to you, the Lafaya way. For more information on the Lafaya way, please subscribe or refer to the information down below. Until next time, stay you and stay true.